How's it going, buddy, and welcome back to Shadowrun Dragonfall with me, Noble. Now, as you can see, we are literally picking up where we left off, so let's go ahead and head outside. We're getting close to the point where I have gone furthest in this game, so... There's our large troll friend. As you can see, she is quite large. But more to love, right? Anyway, Edgar raises her corpse-strewn perch, or raises from her perch, corpse-strewn perch at your approach. From the look on her face, it's obvious that she's already sized up the situation. I knew this was going to happen. I fucking knew it. The run was a trap. Oh, was it? Edgar grits her teeth and shakes her head. We can talk about this later. For now, we gotta get the hell out of here. It's only a matter of time before more of them come pouring out of that exit. She did a lot of damage out here. We got at least, what, 2 casualties? 3. There's a third one back there. So she did pretty good on her own. I'm guessing the teams are a maximum of 4, which is probably why she wasn't there before. Because, you know, it fills up a character slot. So when our character's friend got killed, that she could fill in the spot. Anyway, Edgar slaps the side of the van. Pile in, people. An iron tree. She singled me out as not being even people. Pile in, people, and iron tree. I am lower than dirt now in her eyes. When we get back to Kuzgabar, we're gonna have a little talk. And clearly she doesn't like me. I got put in charge and her friend immediately died. I mean, I can't really blame her for being unhappy, but still, you know? The Kuzberg, the home of nearly 500,000 people, and, until recently, Monica Schaefer. One of the melting pot of cultural diversity is now a chaotic mess of wealth and poverty, crime and commerce, anarchy and control. It's also home to your own little slice of Berlin, a neighborhood that the locals call the Krezuk Bazaar. A safe port in the eye of the storm. The ride back to Kezubar is quiet. I'll probably call it Kazbar just to shorten it a little bit. And since I can't really pronounce it too well. No one is talking in the talking mood. As the van veers past potholes and garbage piles and the glare of street lights and the neon signs plays across your window, painting the world in a kaleidoscope of garnish colors. Or garish, I guess. Soon the van rounds the corner and skids to a halt in a narrow, crumbling alley. This is as far as Berlin's chaotic streets will take you. Your team wordlessly disembarks the vehicle and climbs down into a disused section of U-Bahn tunnel system. I'm guessing that's a public transport of some kind. If I remember correctly, I think it was trains when I played it before. It's not very long section, so... a well-kept secret providing the team safe passage to the Kazagabar. A safe house waits on the other side. I'm pretty sure it was a transit like MARTA or a train system, not a driving tunnel. Yeah, okay, it was a train. I couldn't remember. I was pretty sure I crossed a street, but I wasn't sure if it was a train street or if it was a road street. Because I've only went further than this once to kind of see what the outside was like. But usually I ended right after, you know, fighting the minigun guy. So I've only done this part once. Just to kind of get a feel for what was coming in the outside world. You step inside the squalor and disused U-Bahn tunnel. Gives you the warmth of your safe house. A man waits inside, silhouetted against the dim fluorescent lighting. Paul Amsmeal. I was calling Paul. Something bad's happened, hasn't it? He steps forward, revealing his pale, expressionless face. Light glittering off the steel rim glasses. Paul, your team's fixer and landlord, part deal maker, part information broker, one of the most well-connected men in Berlin, yet he's living in a tunnel. I guess this really isn't much as a tunnel. His eyes sweep across the team, and as he takes it all in, the grim faces and the hard stares, Edgar's fury at Monica's absence. Or Edgar's fury and Monica's absence. There's a period there. I had a feeling. How did she? His face is gone from ashen as he swallows. It takes a moment to chew the words before spitting them out. How did it happen? So we still got decking. That's good. Like I said, I'm glad I took decking because I knew there was several uses for it besides the fact that I'm going to be a decker in the team to replace her. Something in the vault, a security system cooked her brain. It was too quick to be a black ice. Glory nods her motionless robotic and spar. Monica died of biofeedback-induced stroke. I think I'm going to give her more of the seductress kind of, oh, you come to help me kind of attitude with her. That's right. Edgar thrust her gloved finger into your chest, and this idiot stood by and let it happen. Man, she got cooked. There's nothing I could do. It's like you're sitting there and you're microwaving something, and all of a sudden you hear something start popping. You forgot you left your fork in the microwave. Oh no! Get in there as quick as you can, but it's too late. It's already started doing the damage. Brush her finger aside, shove her hand away, ignore it. We'll ignore it. Once again, we got to be the bigger person, and not physically because she's a troll and she's giant, but the bigger person emotionally and take charge of the team as a leader. And you know, I just realized she's wearing the equivalent of VR goggles on her head. She really loves her VR games, I guess. Let it happen. She jacked in, she screamed, and then she seized. By the time we saw what was in trouble, it was already too late. Yeah, because you never bothered learning what to look for. Muscle contractions, micro tremors are good indicators of Decker in distress. It was instantaneous. She's going off of what happens before, because even our character mentioned that in the last episode, that, you know, when she went down, he said this wasn't normal. This isn't the normal thing that happens when someone goes down. And she is assuming it's just a normal incident. She doesn't realize that it was something different. You know. Indicators of Decker in distress. I'm assuming you didn't have anyone keeping an eye out on those. No, if you had, my friend wouldn't be lying dead in a basement. No, she would. Oh, shove off, Edgar. We were all on the lookout for physical security, Iron Tree included. Throwing him under the bus isn't going to help anything. Under the bus is exactly where he belongs. Baka! You know? I respect you, Dietrich. You know that, but you don't have any training. None of you have. I forgot to mention the Edgar turns to face Dietrich and towers over in part, sorry. Monica was good. She was the best, right? But she was also overconfident. She treated the job like it was a game. Well, to her it was, and to me it physically is. Do it long enough and you're gonna get burned. Edgar turns her focus back at you. Uh-oh. Why do I feel like we're gonna end up getting in a romantic relationship later? We hate each other at first and end up, you know, troll love kind of thing. I mean, she's not bad looking, I guess, for a troll. If you had been paying attention, you had figured out If you had paid attention, you would have figured all of it out on your own by now. You've known that Monica needed watching as much as the door. Enough, Edgar. Asmiel's voice is hoarse, his expression blank. Enough. Edgar pushes ahead, heedless of the interruption. Her voice remains measured, but there is a fire in her eyes, which I will not be able to compete with my voice because I'm not actually a female and I can't get the emotional pitches I need. How many seconds passed between Monica's first convulsion and her plug being pulled? 4? 5? More instantaneous than anything. Do you know how much damage biofeedback can do to Decker's brain in 5 seconds? Okay, so no matter what I choose, it's going to get cut off. Look, this wouldn't, how dare you, or Edgar, I don't. We'll go with I won't. You don't have to answer that. Of course you know. Monica died. Oh, while you stood there and watched. This is all your... That's enough. Asmiel's voice comes in with a roar. His fist smashes down on the desk behind him. Bonk. It just sounds funny when he says it smashes down on the desk behind him, because I can just picture him like leaning over, putting his hand behind his back and smacking a table. It should have said beside him, I think, but whatever. Because, I mean, if you look at him, he's kind of got his arm closer to that, but it's kind of also behind him. I don't know. Edgar, you and Iron Tree can have it out later, but I've heard enough, or had enough. We need to talk action. Our client sent you into something much bigger than he led us to believe. I want to know why. Right there with you. This is supposed to be a milk run. Payback isn't the only reason we need to find him. We saw something back there, something that we weren't supposed to see. It's fair to assume that we all are still in danger. Seriously, they went down into that basement expecting to find a vault, which I assume meant they were going to walk into a room, a lot of loot laying around, maybe jack into a data port, get some information out, and head home. What they found was the entrance to a labyrinth. We had a door on the left, we had a door on the right, a guy with a minigun comes out of there, guys are pouring out of all these doorways. There's a lot more going on. It's more like a Fallout vault with, chambers than it is a single room with just some loot in it. He pauses and rubs his nipples. Agreed. And to neutralize the danger, we need to know what we're dealing with. Let us know, let's review the events that transpired tonight. I'll probably go for another hour episode this time, but let me know what you think episode length will be. Because I really don't want to make episodes too long, but then again, I don't want to... Because for anyone who's played this game and knows how long this game is, it'd be great information from me, because I really don't want to waste y'all's time by making tiny little 30-minute episodes if it's a short game, or really waste your time by making 30-minute episodes if it's really long, or go burn through it too quick if it's hour-long episodes or 45, whatever you will. If it's a short game, because that wouldn't be very fun either. The smallest detail could be important, so hold nothing back. State was just a front for whatever's going on in the basement? Yes. Kind of like Umbrella Corporation, The hive is underground, and then on the top you got the little Spencer Mansion. But for the movie version, for the video game, it was actually like out back in the backyard. Aswell nods, and that's much is clear. It wasn't a minor enterprise either. The facility took serious funds to build. And time there was more to it than we saw. Places that don't spring up overnight. So someone, built it over a long period of time. All that's secret. The owners, whoever they may be, were not too pleased by your escape, I'm sure. What else did you find? And by the way, I tried to kill that guy before, and I lost members of my team before. That's why I said I never really got super far. I got him down to half health once. But that was with team members like in the red. And I was like, yeah, that's why I ran from the minigun guy, because I read that you can't actually beat him. He'll either run away, or the time will run out and you need to run away, which is usually what you should take, I guess. After everything went to hell, we were confronted by an orc in a military-grade armor, yes. He appeared to be the head of security. That's a big assumption, but it's probably true. Especially since it's a video game, and that probably is exactly his role. This is not much to go on. Do you have any details about the orc come to mind? Any distinguishing features that could look into? He was an older guy, for one. From the sound of his voice, I'm guessing mid to late 40s. Pretty old for an orc. It was in Skyrim where, I'm an old orc, I'm like 35, I must die with honor in battle, And he had skin grafts. Most of his face looked like a replacement material. If the grafts came from a legitimate hospital, there may be medical records. Now that is something I can see what I can find out. Did you note anything else during the run that may be of value? Monica lived long enough to say a name. Wings. I thought she had to tell us it must be important. Aswell seems taken back. He pauses for a moment before responding. The fire wing. It's fire. Oh, I'm guessing that was in German, or I was just mispronunciating with my dyslexia bad enough not to realize it was supposed to be fire wing. Anyway, You have forgotten, or you have to forgive me. This brings back very unpleasant memories. Glory raises an eyebrow. The Firewing? The most terrible of the great dragons. Oh, it's a dragon. Okay. There are those who would disagree, but they never experience the terror of living in her shadow. It's a female dragon. It glances at Glory. So this really is a D&D type world, where dragons and dwarfs and everybody lives together. I thought when I was doing the character build-up, it said, the races have only been around for a little while. So is it like some gateway was torn between worlds? I don't really know anything about the Shadowrun games or anything else. So I'm just kind of curious how we have a modern world with short-lived races like orcs and trolls and dwarves and elves. How did they come to be, Was it genetic mutation in the family lines? Like, husband and wife are expecting a kid, and the kid comes out a troll. It's like, honey, what in the world did you do behind my back? Or was it like you see in some video games where some crazy space or time event happened and opened up a rupture, or just started mutating humans into other creatures, or what? I don't know. Or dragons, lizards, I don't know either. Anyway, you're far too young to remember, of course, but for Germans of my generation, the name Frischwindschwing is synonymous with chaos, destruction, and death. The dragons of today are subtle creatures, full of patience and guile. Frischwing was not. After her awakening, she went on for a month of rampage and claimed tens of thousands alive. Okay, so the awakening, I'm assuming that means this dragon's been sleeping for like hundreds or thousands of years. I have been laying dormant for thousands of years. You have disturbed me. All I can think about is that one episode of Dragon Ball Abridged where Vegeta and Piccolo both emerge from the ice with the same kind of, jokey lines like that. Aswell takes a deep breath and slowly releases it. There's a hardened look in his eyes. Those were dark days. Countless men and women and children were slaughtered, roasted alive in their homes by a creature of legend. No hope for salvation, no end in sight. It was horror that you cannot begin to understand. What stopped her? I can't imagine that a rampaging dragon would just go away on its own. A buttload of 50 caliber machine guns. Maybe a few anti-tank rounds. Go watch the anime Gate and watch how they took out the dragons with the fighter jets and artillery. Eventually, Firewing, or Pacific Rim maybe, eventually Firewing was brought down by a man named Dr. Adrian Volkner. Volkner? We'll call him Adrian Volk. Well, with some help of the Luftwaffe, which I think it's the German Air Force, of course. But it was experimental weapons designed by Dr. Volkner, and finally pierced her hide. She fell in the hail of bullets, rocket fire, and crashed down on the radioactive wasteland of the Sox. So I guess they used some nuclear ordnance at some point in time, huh? This event was called the Dragonfall. Hey! Roll credits! Sorry. Looking congested today. Safe at last from the dragon's wrath, Germany celebrated Volkner as a hero. Our own Siegfried, a modern-day dragon slayer. My own family practically worshipped the man. That's horrible. If the Dragonfall was so important an event as you make it out to be, I'm surprised that I've never heard of it. That does make up a good question. Are the dragons like the overlords of the world? Like, are we talking like Skyrim, where the elves rule the entire realm, and you got these factions and groups that are like, we're still human, we're still dwarf or whatever, and it's like, please, we'll do our own thing. You can be in charge in your own shadow governments or something like that. Because it sounds like the dragons are actually in charge, and they're, distorting the news feeds to make people forget about the Dragonfall incident. Those early years of awakening were traumatic, Edgar. Not gonna, just a natural level, but a global scale. I skipped most of this conversation. Just a side note for anybody wondering why I may not remember this. Like I said, when I was playing this before, the one time I went through this, I just sped through the conversation, click, 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 just to get outside and see what was outside. New species of awakened animals were being discovered daily. So, okay, awakened animals. So, I'm guessing humans were the same way. I'm guessing that maybe, like I was saying, maybe mommy and daddy gave birth to a dwarf and wondered what happened. Meanwhile, there's a couple squirrels outside that just gave birth to some weird monster. I don't know. Within 2 years of the Dragonfall, the active use of magic had returned to the world, a new source of terror for a bewildered public. And in 2021, the sudden emergence of orcs, trolls, gave rise to yet another wave of global panic. I guess, you know, dwarves and elves were okay, but when your skin starts turning green, you start growing spikes and giant, jagged teeth, people start getting freaked out, I guess. In light of such turmoil, is it any surprise that Dr. Wagner and the Fire Wing were forgotten? Dragons were yesterday's news. He rubs his temples again. All this happened decades ago. To the best of my knowledge, the story of Frostwing was the bit historical trivia, nothing more. Alright, so Monica spent her dying breath telling her, trying to tell us about a long-dead dragon. Edgar sweeps her eyes across the group, searching for a glimmer of insight. Finally, she gives up. Any idea as to why? Asmel's, that's why I said I want to call him Paul, because it's having enough trouble with his last name. Asmel, voice trembles with frustration. No, I don't have any more sense to me than it does to you. The Dragonfall incident was history. Volswing has been dead and gone for 42 years. Oh, wow. Here I was thinking it was like 20 or 30 years. I didn't realize it was like that long. So yeah, he must have been a young boy, because he doesn't look like he's in his like 60s or something. But there's one thing that I don't know. Whether Monica saw whatever she was trying to tell us, it was important. He visibly struggles to calm himself and takes a deep breath, then slowly releases it. I'll look into this, and I will find answers. To the meantime, did you turn up anything else of value? Nope, that's all we got. That's not much. Yeah, I'm looking at the time. It's taken a long time to get to this portion. That's why I said I'll probably do an hour long at least on this one. Maybe a little bit more. But let me know what you want your episode links to be. Asmel nods, his face down again, haggard. It's it is thin, I agree. A basement in the middle-aged orc and skin grafts, this long-forgotten world event. We're still missing something. Who paid for the run? Haven't said anything about the client yet, Paul. You holding on us? Whoever sent us knew what we're getting into. We were set up. We'll go with that one. That's obvious, but why? Paul's face reddens. I warned her. I told her not to take the run, but she assured me we would make a cakewalk. It was a milk run, not a cakewalk. You can't have cake and milk at the same time. You didn't bring it to her? No, she said the whole thing herself. Monica was approached recently by a man who calls himself Green Winters. It sounds like a pine forest or a ski lodge resort or something. Green Winters. Actually, Green Winters sounds more like more of a tropical area than a snowfield area. It's like, yeah, we don't get any snow here. It's all just green winters, you know. He used to be a prominent activist in the F-state political scene. I never much liked the man, and I certainly never trusted him. But Monica, she would always do anything in her cause, anything for the folk state. I don't know what that is. He sighs. Winters swore that the data he was after was crucial to ensuring the future stability of the Falks. And that was all it took. We need to track down Monica's client and press him for information. It sounds like Green Winters is our best lead then. We'll go with this. Be more professional. Yes, most definitely. It's clear that Green Winters is involved in something much larger than the lead Monica to believe. When he finds out what happened on the run, he's probably going to rabbit. I guess that means run. We need to chase him down before that happens. New information from Green Winters. We need it fast. Any leads? How do we find this guy? We'll go in any leads. There's a man in the Keza bar. A Turk named... I think I went to his bar, actually, when I was looking around. Al Bazarki. He owns a little soy calf shop. Soy calf. I guess it's a soy cafe. We like going soy and green around here or something. Just down the way in the Cafe Caservier. This man is also a purveyor of information. He's done business with him for a long time. And you think he would know something about this Green Winters? Aswell nods. When I discovered Monica's renowned association with Green Winters, I confronted Alton. One of his people was been keeping tabs on Winters ever since. As I said, I don't trust the man. For good reason, it'd seem. Pragmatic. Best to be cautious. Yeah, we'll go with that one. Yes, tell him I sent you. I will do what I can to dig up the information that you've uncovered already. Sparse though it may be. Well, we got 5 karma. About time. I'll deal with that later. We got conversation portions, so let's talk to some of these people here before we move off. Come on, talk to him. Dietrich turns his head as you approach, his aging face traced with a network of faint scars, legacy of too many fights over too many years. While he still retains a degree of strength and vigor, his obvious that his shaman that you see today is a shadow of his former self. So yeah, I mean, he looks like a guy who's seen quite a few fights just by looking at him right here, you know. Like a bewildered older man who's been through too many wars. Despite all of this, there is still an aura of power surrounding him. He raises his bottle, offering it to you. Iron Tree, welcome. Or, I forgot the voice. Iron Tree, welcome. I got this bottle of schnapps that needs sharing. And we got a fallen comrade to drink too. I'm going to refuse. I've got to keep my wits about me. I don't drink, but I'll join you in saluting her memory. Yeah, I'll go with that one, because I don't drink either. Fair enough to Monica. He takes a long pull of the bottle and looks and locks eyes with you. Let me ask you a question, Andre. What made you choose to come to Berlin? Had my reasons. We'll go with I had my reasons. Such as, come on, boss. I just want to try and figure out who I'm working for here. I think I deserve to know that much. Ooh, we actually get to choose our history. I like this. Drop out of sight for a while. Run went bad. I don't like that one because it makes it sound like I'm cursed, or makes it sound like I have bad luck on the battlefield. And because we just had a bad run, and I just ran from bad run, so if I choose that, I feel like he's going to think I'm going to plan on running from this as well. Member of Troop betrayed me. Need a change. We'll go betray. That sounds more entertaining. Ain't that a pisser? I can't handle all sorts of things, but a betrayal always makes me see red. I know the feeling. I try to make him answer for it. Right there with you. I vented. There were extending circumstances. If he didn't do what he did, his family would have paid. I like that one. It makes it sound like a more intense story. Like, you know, there's like this backstory that, you know, went down that it's like, man, that must have been a crazy adventure. You know, it's like, tell me sometime. Sure, I'll tell you sometime. That's rough. But it's still on him, not you. He should have been more careful. What'd you do? Dropped out and left him to twist. Let's see. Ventilated him. What could I do? I faked my own death. It was the only way to save his family. I'll go with that one. It's like, you know, maybe Iron Tree wasn't my name, you know, before. I just changed it to this for now. Would have been my choice, but good on you. Suppose all the same, Iron Tree. Saints don't tend to last very long in this line of work. Trust me. I watched enough of them go. Enough of them by to now. Okay. So you faked your death, bailed on the rest of your team, and make your way to Berlin. Dietrich takes another pull of the bottle. Am I getting it that right? Say more or less, there wasn't much left for me in the other. There's a bit more to it than that, but yeah, we'll go with a bit more. So he came back to Berlin and to Monica. Dietrich raises the bottle again, closes his eyes, and takes a long drink. After that moment has passed, he returns attention to you. It all comes back to the girl, doesn't it? So let me ask you, just what was your relationship with Monica anyway? I know that you two knew each other way back, but she was pretty coy about these things. Why do you want to know? You're treading into dangerously personal territory? Are you always this inquisitive? We'll go with personal, because I think I know what I'll choose if it gives me that option. Are we? Sorry about that. Never been much of a on boundaries. All the same, I'd like you to tell me. I can respect that. It's none of your business, Dietrich. I know Monica well enough to know that what you mean. We'll go with that one. It's always a mysterious way about her. So what's the deal between you two? Don't leave me in suspense. We were very close. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. We were friends, or we were business associates, nothing more. Yeah, we're totally going with this one. You know, that's why she would leave the team with me if I was her former lover, you know? Dietrich nods. Figured as much. Not from anything you or Monica said, just I had a suspicion. She couldn't get enough of the iron tree, you know? Well, anyway, good on you both. You can raise the bottle and salute. She was a wonderful woman, and I hope you had your time was a happy time. I messed that up or whatever. Anyway, I've taken enough of your time. The bottle's almost empty. Thanks for taking the time to talk. I got kind of tongue-tied there. For what it's worth, I'm happy you are here with us. Dietrich takes a final pull in the bottle and tips it forward, pouring the rest on the ground. Rest in peace, Monica. We'll miss you, girl. That is the waste of booze. It's also a mess on the floor. The dog's going to think you peed on the floor. He's going to start peeing on the floor. Now we got pee and alcohol everywhere. If you pour it outside, please. Alright. I don't know if he has anything else to say, or if it's just the conversation on the parts we already done. As appears, his eyes, bloodshot expression. Do you have any from... Oh, no, not yet. Okay. I kind of figured that'd probably be the case. I know I have to talk to the dog. It sounds funny to say that, but yes. Oh, glory. Glory, glory, hallelujah. No. Glory is beautiful with a waifish sort of way. Oh, waifu. Her features are almost elvish in her delicacy, but there's something cold about her that you can find slightly unsettling. Probably because she looks like a Terminator. I mean, look at those arms right there. Can I zoom in any further? No, okay. What's more unsettling is her chrome, which I guess is the name of the robotics. Gloria is rocking a heavy loadout of cyberware from head to toe. She looks to be composed more plastic and metal than she is of skin and bone. Does she come with advanced features? In the shadows, individuals such as this are anything but uncommon, but Glory's cyberware, first generation, all of it. Wow, okay, so that's probably not the first... if it's first generation, this stuff's been around a while, she probably got it used, so... Yeah. Bulky, invasive, practically museum pieces. This chrome was obsolete before she was even born. Okay, that's definitely what I was thinking. I was like, yeah, she probably got it secondhand, so it's definitely secondhand. Which means it's probably cheap. Glory shifts her gaze to you, but her expression is cold and placid as always. Can I help you? How you holding up? Any thoughts on what we should do next? I have a question for you, Glory. It's personal kind. We'll go with this one. Find anything on a missing client. Extract some answers. Beyond that, takes jobs and get paid. How you holding up? Don't worry about me. I'm solid. You look like you're a million miles away. I'll be with you when it counts. Right now, it doesn't. We'll leave the personal stuff. Let's just click it. Why not? I'm not big on sharing sport. Personal reasons, understand, I'm sure. The edge of her voice tells you that she's not interested in communicating with this conversation. We all have our secrets. We'll go with that one. So I think it's something that'll become open later on. This is the one I was least looking forward to. Edgar glares at you, and you can taste a bite in her stare. She clearly still blames you for Monica's death. Something I can do for you, fearless leader? You're wrong about me, Edgar. I intend to prove you wrong, or prove that to you. She stares at you for a moment and then looks away. Best of luck on that, Iron Tree. Now please, leave me alone. Now, we're going to leave her alone because I think she needs to kind of stew. Actually, what's this? Oh, equip. Is this where we leave our gear? I don't forget anything in here. Nope, it's all empty. I wonder if I can put my outfit in there. Nope, can't run around in my underwear. Oh well. That's it for now, then. Alright, doggy. Time to talk you to a doggy. As you start to the safe house door, a large four-legged form steps from the corner. Dante, Monica's dog. An enormous mongrel of intermediate breed. So I don't know if it means that it's partial monster, part normal dog, or what. A lower whimper emerges from as he enters the room, head hung low. Oh shit, Dante. He knows something happened to his master. Dietrich shakes his head. Don't worry, boy. We'll look after you. At the sight of Monica's dog, Azrael's eyes well up. He inhales, but he can't quite catch his breath. You gotta think of it, dogs are, very loyal to their masters, but they're also like children at the same time. And seeing the dog very sad at his master's death is gonna put a strain on somebody, He started whimpering about an hour ago. Turned to a full-blown howl. Wouldn't stop. He closed his eyes. Then he realized something bad had happened. So the dog knew his master died before the dog ever even knew that we were back. So, I guess connection to the master. Looking down into those huge brown eyes, you see intelligence and sadness. He lets out a small whinny and rubs his head against you. Give him a treat. Now takes a treat in his mouth, and then it's clear it is no appetite for the jerky, and drops to the floor. He leans onto you, looks up mournfully, and presses his ribs against your leg. Guess the dog's going with you, Iron Tree. Oh, I hope the dog becomes a teammate. Maybe not. I just realized, is that the Akira bike right there? Oh my gosh. I didn't even see that before. Asmel takes a... Because I was looking at the portrait and I saw that corner. That is definitely the Akira bike. Takes a ragged breath and releases it. Then slow, methodically, smile plays across his face. Well, perhaps a part of Monica... I'm about to use the other guy's voice. Lives on in Dante. Return to the safe house when you're finished with the Ultig Moon, friend. With a little luck, he can help us locate Green Winters. And we can get to the bottom of this. He stares at the floor. And now, I think we should all take a moment. His lips tightens. For Monica. Okay. Now, I know the dog will follow me now, but I don't know if he's going to be a permanent companion, but... Let's zoom in as close as we can. Nope, over here. It really does look like the Akira bike. Now, that front fin I don't think was on the bike in the movies and stuff, but, yeah, I really do feel like that's a play on the Akira bike. I mean, even the handlebar and the seating and stuff. So I guess this is all the loot she's piled up. Actually, that was the elephant from the first room and the first fight we had, the major one. Not the single elf. So I guess it's an area they could reuse some of the old set pieces. Can't interact with that one. Alright, we are pretty much as far as I ever got in the story. Mind you, I didn't really read the stuff that we just talked about. There's another bike. But, yeah, I've walked around here before, looking around at different parts, talking to some of the people, so... A lot of it is just kind of, Because this is pretty much what this episode is going to be, is just conversation filler. I'll probably look at the shopkeeps after the missions, after this episode's done. Buy the things I want to buy, and I almost forgot that actually, looking back at my inventory, I said I wanted the... I'll work on that also later. I said I wanted the grenade launcher, but I need my deck, and I don't have room for a gun and a deck and a grenade launcher. So either I have to put away the gun or put away the grenade launcher. I might have to do the grenade launcher, unfortunately. Much as I wanted it. I didn't even think about that until now. That sucks. We'll do this part first, and then we'll see about talking to people around town. We'll talk to him first after we get done with this part. Altig Brackle. The man behind the counter looks right past you. I'll probably just call him the barista, so I don't have to try and figure out that name. At the dog following close behind you. Dante, I'll fetch his water dish and perhaps a coffee for your friend here. Soy calf? Nah. Paul sends his regards. When he hears Asmel's name, the Turk's, oh, he's Turkish, okay. His voice lowers and his accent becomes less exaggerated. His eyes take on a knowing look. So, yeah, I guess the accent's kind of like, oh, you come into a Turkish coffee shop, you expect the guy to have like a thick accent, so he's playing the part to kind of cover who he really is. That's an information broker. He tells you developing the menu for a friend, catering, we'll go with this one. It sounds very spyish. Yes, of course, O wise one. A young woman busts in from the back room. Her gum chewing is loud enough to hear over the noise of the coffee grinders. And barista, I'll say barista again, spits something out in the rapid-fire Turkish. Kami, not from Mortal Kombat, as you wish, Uncle. I'll see to it right away. Kami offers you a shy grin, snaps her gum, and then hurries back into the room she came from. She's kind of cute. My girl Kami, she's aching to make contact with the chef, arranging, I don't say aching, as we speak. This was likely to take some time. Our chef is a busy man. While you wait, I wonder if you would be so kind as to run a small errand for me. A trifle, really. I hate to trouble you. I'm embarrassed to even ask, but it would be most appreciative if you'd help. What's the trifle? Of course. His voice lowers to nearly a whisper. The errand is simple, hardly worthy of you. I have installed a number of data taps into Berlin's fiber optic network. As part of my civic duty, you understand. These taps provide the free matrix access to all who live in the Kezabar. In order to maintain their, their anonymity, each tap's protocol buffer must be reset every few days. I simply wish for you to visit each data tap and reset it. Simple enough. That's it, no catch. You have people for this. Let's go no catch. There is no catch, I assure you. It is time-consuming and a bit tedious, nothing more. Just reset the taps and come back when you're finished. There should be 3 of them scattered around the neighborhood. The first one is just outside. Look for the metal box with yellow arrows painted on top. I've been around this place. I think I've seen one of these boxes. I don't know where the third one is, but I think I've seen the other one. It's at the very top, where there's like a phone booth and stuff. By the time you return, I should have the information Herr Asmil requested. Alright. Let's talk to you first. Hello, my friend! A voice comes from the man in the chair, enormous as its owner. A deep booming roar, dripping with an unrestrained myth. Or mirth, maybe. A fine day for a soy calf, yes? He's going to interrupt me. It's clearly a beaut. From the back of the store, the voice of the shopkeep cuts off. "Don't mind the fool in the chair," he roars, like a traumatized walrus, stooling all day in his own sweat. The man behind the bar glares at Goldschmidt, his upper lip curled in disgust. "I tolerate him because he takes his soy calf by the bucket." I think he's a dwarf looking at his size comparison to my character size. Mr. Goldschmidt responds with a righteous belly laugh. Apparently he finds the shopkeeper's insults to be hilarious. "Ah, Alton, my friend, you're as quick-witted as a sharp-tongued as ever. I bow to you." Are you going to put... Once again, the shopkeep cuts in. "To bow to me, you would first have to vacate your chair." The shopkeep claps his hands together, clasping them in front of his chest. I shall summon a team of determined young men and an ox to assist in the task. With luck, you'll be on your feet by nightfall. I'm sorry, that's probably funnier to me than it should have been. Oh, I'm picturing him being, like, really enthusiastic, like, you know, "Don't worry, we'll have a team of young, strapping lads and a strong oxen to pull you out of that chair in no time," kind of thing. Goldschmidt smiles at you, his small eyes glittering. "Enough of this senseless bickering. You haven't approached me for a reason, yes? Tell me, what can Goldschmidt do for you?" Something bad's gonna happen if you don't stop interrupting me. I kind of agree. Why didn't you put up those insults? "Oh, don't mind our dear Olga. He is a peevish man, but his ear is not directed at you." That's not what I meant, but you know it. Goldschmidt grins at you in his overstuffed chair. "I have distinction of being a sole target of Alton's rage and determination. It is a badge in which a delight of wearing." Why did you put up with it? I'd put up with them because they amuse me. The fact that they amuse me infers my dear friend Octong is, in turn, hurls more insults. He trades a soy calf in salute. "And thus the cycle continues. It's been for 2 years what I've been a customer. Yes, Arkin?" 2 years of soy calf stained patience, yes. "And I remain happy. Altgen makes money and an ideal business relationship." All sounds pretty healthy. Take care. He deep nod and jowls quivering. "Until next time, my friend." He doesn't look like he's fat enough to have quivering jowls, nor does he look big enough to really fill up the chair, but I guess they didn't really have a overweight dwarf image to put on there. Alright, there's someone over here that I need to talk to. There he is. Come on, talk to him. A pair of rounded eyes peer up at you under the hood of a grime-smeared winter coat. You recognize him as David, one of the Kazabar's street kids. If you had to guess, you'd place him in his mid-teens. Though it's difficult to tell beneath the grime and acne marring his face, you've seen him following Monica around between runs, chasing on her heels like a lost puppy. She always seemed to have a bit of a soft spot for the kid. I originally thought he was a weapons dealer because I saw this bear holding a rifle when I first met him, so that's why I decided to come over here first. Oh, hoy! He's Tammy from Tammy Vision! Oh, hoy! I entry! You have seen Monica around. I've been looking all over for her. Sorry, Tammy. I'm afraid I have some bad news for you. She's dead. Oh, look. Don't have time. We'll go. We got to give people the bad news. We got to let people know what's going on. They like her around here, apparently. The kid blinks, a blank expression on his face. She's dead, isn't she? He was quick, sent her peacefully. It's not true at all. It was horrible. There was blood everywhere. Oh, traumatized or give him hope? I'd rather give him hope. Yeah, look, I think we're gonna need to be alone now. Okay, yeah, I thought this was it. I've seen a couple of these boxes. Look like the kind you see on the side of the road. Dad tap protocol buffers now reset. This was a funny interaction I did once. So we got this folk and this folk here. So let's go to this one. That's the only one we can talk to right now. Something about this young elf behind the counter makes your breath catch in your chest. She's lovely to look at, but it's strange kind of beauty. Her eyes are large and luminous and possibly green. As she looks at you, you can see that her irises are flecked with iridescent gold. Absinthe. Hello, and welcome to Albrum's. Perhaps I can help you with something? As she smiles at you, her eyes fixed on yours, and a curious feeling of weightlessness fills your chest. It feels as though you're floating in a warm, calm sea. A gentle current pulls you closer to Absinthe, and the sensation is pleasant as you drift. The golden specks in her eyes begin to move. Uh-oh. I don't have the willpower to look away. Look deeper into her eyes. The golden specks of the elf's eyes shift and swirl, slowly picking up speed. It's mesmerizing. All at once, the specks explode into light and color. Aspen's eyes now fill your field of vision. I feel like it's like zooming in really close to someone's eye, you know? Your field of vision, it feels as if you were drowning in an alien sea. The patterns traced in the shimmering sparks in her eyes, a kaleidoscopic and chanting, nearly impossible to turn away from. Oh, now you need a willpower of 6. Wrench your eyes closed, lose yourself. You are lost. Your entire world has been reduced to a churning vortex of golden and green, or green and gold. Darn dyslexia. Dimly, you become aware that something is happening. You feel your body being buffed by unseen forces, and suddenly everything goes black. He turned around now. Slowly and painfully, you struggle your way back to consciousness. The shop's owner, Aldron, is peering down at you, an expression of concern on his face. Absinthe stands beside him, an expression one of embarrassment. He looks freaking awesome. I love that look. Welcome back, my friend. Aldron extends his hand and help you to his feet. Absinthe shifts slightly to follow or allow you to stand. What happened? My fault. My apologies. Sometimes when I daydreaming, I bring others along for the ride. That's actually pretty cool. If you let's say you're in high school or something and you're in, math class and you see someone staring at you and you stare at them and bring them into a dream realm and you can interact with them. It'd be like, cheating on a test without actually using words or exchanging anything more than glances. It was unintentional, yes, but there was no harm done, correct? You'll be fine. No harm done. If you excuse me, I'm going to stand in the corner for a while. Harmless? I don't think so. Step away from me, elf. I want nothing more to do with you. I like this one. It's like, I'm a little dizzy. I'm gonna go stand like, kind of a Captain Jack Sparrow's like, I'm gonna go stand in the corner for a little bit. I'm gonna catch up with you in a little while. Give me a minute, kind of thing. That's great. Actually, I think I can talk to him. Greetings, young man. The elf's voice is smooth and silk, rich in clotted cream. Something about him instantly puts you at ease. I am Aldron, Half-Dream, the owner of this establishment. In my shop, you'll find only the finest of magical paraphernalia. Now tell me, how may I serve you? I'm about to say, how many may I serve? I was like, a table for 5, please, Show me your inventory. Yeah, we'll go with that. I have never actually bought anything for magic because, like I said before, I've only been here once. So I haven't even looked at his inventory. This is actually the first time I've actually seen it. I've been to this room before, and that's why I knew I was going to lose consciousness, but wow, there's a lot more magic than I thought in this game. Good grief, maybe I should have been a mage. I'm going to do this off camera, actually going to look at all the stuff here, but man, that is a lot of stuff to go through. Weapons, power bolt, acid bolt, appearance, spells, conjuring, wow. is a lot of stuff. I had no idea there's this much available for the magic category. Because this little dwarf up here, I know sells me robotics and stuff. That's where I need to get my little hacking tool. But other than that, I don't really know what's going on. I don't think there's any conversations here. Is one of those boxes over here? No. Now, I do give money to this dancer. Because, awesome dancer. You gotta help the street performers. We don't have much to give yet, so we'll just give one. This is the gun merchant right here. Like I said, the other guy had the sign with the bear holding the rifle, and I thought that was the gun merchant. This guy doesn't look like one. I'll just show you what his inventory looks like real quick before we get going. Yeah, we got a bunch of pistols, a taser, a couple subguns, a couple shotguns right here. We got ourselves some sniper rifles, a couple battle rifles, the AK-97, which we already have one, but this is a Smart Link one. Rifle, the most common assault rifle in the world, which integral Smart Link system. I need to look up what the Smart Link does. I don't know if it gives you more accuracy or what, but most of these weapons have that. That's what I wanted before, the M79 grenade launcher, but now I'm starting to think maybe I don't need it because I have a drone in my inventory. So, unfortunately, I might be skipping the grenade launcher, spending my money on other things. Got our melee. We got a Secure Tech armored clothing. I might buy this. This will help me with longevity and not getting killed. And then we have our expendable grenades. And some melee and throwing knives. But yeah, I may buy that body armor because, hell, longevity is definitely a thing you want to keep going on. We'll see how things go. This guy's a drug dealer. I'm just going to leave it at that. Wait. Let me look around before I get going, because I need to find that other box to fix. Because the one I know is over here somewhere. Oh, there it is. It's over here. Yeah. He's a drug dealer. This guy does augments. If you played any of the... oh, remember the girl that we were talking to before? She had heavy augments, some old ones, but this place is almost like the okay, kind of like Deus Ex games with the aug places. You can come here. I'll go ahead and listen to the conversation, but you can come here and basically get yourself auged just like in Deus Ex games. As you approach the elf, you notice that he's in mid-conversation. His lips are rapidly, his voice comes to a low, quiet tone. Glossy plastic shell of high-grade comlink grunts on his wrist. Listen. Doing your best to look uninterested, you lean in slightly and strain your ears, and you make out the doctor's end of the conversation. No. The price is, I'm quoting, is for you is more than fair. Well, below the market value. In fact, you can't pay it. That's your problem. Yes, I know that this price has gone up, but that's the seller's market. Well then, you'll just have to find the money or go without. I'm sorry, but I have to go. I have a patient. He presses the button on his comlink and he looks up at you, a $1 million smile on his face. I guess all the elves are supposed to be so handsome. It's like, Dr. Handsome here. How's it going, everybody? Ding, you know. Sorry about the wait, my friend. Welcome to Triage Cybertech. He expands his hand to you. I'm Dr. Xavier Isabel. And your name is... You know, you gotta think with the Mankind Divide and all that from the Deus Ex games, you know, the Augs were the racially profiled people. But in this game, it's like the elves, the dwarves, and all them are all the... kind of like in the Augs places. I guess more like the trolls and the orcs than anything. You know, instead of being, you know, oh man, the Augs are horrible creatures, robotic monstrosities. It's like, we got orcs and trolls and dwarves and elves instead, you know. So if the Augs came first, then it would have been the other way around, maybe. I don't know. Shake his hand. I'm Iron Tree, a pleasure. Pleased to meet you, Iron Tree. What can I do for you today? Cyberware. This is your Deus Ex armaments. Now, our lady friend has heavy-duty cybernetic arms, so probably the Silvertech cyber arm deals. So yeah, if I went ahead and got both my arms replaced like Deus Ex style, I could pretty much make an Adam Jensen out of my character if I wanted to. But we're going to go ahead and, you know what, instead, I think I'm going to end the episode here because we're already in an hour. And I probably, hopefully, remember to edit out that part where I had the brain fart. My brain just shut down. I'm like, what is the name of Deus Ex, you know? But we'll go ahead and continue on because I really don't want to mess anything up just yet. And it'll give me a chance to get into that. And my throat's getting a little dry right now from all the talking. Because there's a lot of talking from me in this game since there's no actual audio in the game. So, you probably notice I've been coughing a lot more and, you know, doing stuff. But it's kind of getting dried out. My nose is getting a little stuffy. So, this is probably a good place for me to end it. So, thank you everybody for stopping by and joining. If you like it, hit that like, subscribe for future content. If you like it, drop a comment below with your thoughts and opinions. And just as importantly, let me know what your thoughts are on the length of the episodes for this game or any other games. Also, if you ever want me to go back to a game that I've done and stopped, let me know as well, because I know sometimes people like a certain series, and I may end the series without warning because I'm like, well, maybe people just aren't interested in this particular one. I'm hoping people want to see this game, but if no one does, that's fine. But let me know what your thoughts are. Anyway, take care, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Be safe out there.